Most people who live in Kansas and have grown up surrounding the Kansas Athletics know of their basketball heritage. People are generally familiar with names like James Naismith, the inventor of basketball, Phog Allen, one of KU's most respected coaches, or Wilt Stilt Chamberlain, one of KU's 7-foot basketball players who went on to lead a successful career in the NBA. But Kansas has a rich athletic history that goes much beyond basketball. It has had some exceptional athletes who are also exceptional people and Americans. When one thinks of exceptionalism, they think of striving to be the best that someone can be. Generosity is also a part of exceptionalism. My goal with this speech is to introduce you to 5 athletes that attended the University of Kansas, each who have their own unique and exceptional story. The athletes you will get to know are Glenn Cunningham, who's a KU Ironman of track, Gale Sayers, who's an All-American running back, JoJo White, who played point guard at the university for 4 years, Bob Allison, who was a baseball player for 2 years here, and Diamond Dixon, who was a track star here as well. First, I present to you Glenn Cunningham, the Kansas Ironman. He attended the University of Kansas from 1929 to 1933 and was an exceptional athlete and human being. His achievements were many, as stated in USA Track and Field. In 1933, Cunningham graduated from the University of Kansas with the highest academic record in his class. The same year, he won AAU 800 meters with a time of 151.8, as well as the 1500 meter with a time of 352.3. In addition, that year he was also awarded the Sullivan Memorial Trophy, which is handed out annually to the most outstanding amateur athlete in the country. Cunningham went on to graduate from the University of Kansas, as stated earlier, and attend graduate school here as well. He then earned a master's degree from the University of Iowa in 1936 and went on to earn his PhD in physical education from New York University in 1940. While he was an accomplished athlete and scholar, his greatest contribution to society was the establishment of the Cunningham Ranch, where over the years he and his wife raised 10,000 foster children and 8 of their own. It took a lot of tolerance and patience, and these were just extraordinary people exhibiting exceptionalism. Next, I'm introducing to you JoJo White, who played point guard here at the university for 4 years. Like Glenn Cunningham, he was also an achiever. He was born in St. Louis, Missouri, and played at Kansas for 4 years, scoring a total of 1,268 points. He was drafted by the Boston Celtics in 1969 and played with the Celtics for 19 seasons. He played on the Olympic team and won a gold medal in 1968 and was one of pro basketball's first Ironmen, meaning that he played all 82 games in 5 consecutive seasons. He won 2 NBA championships in 1974 and 1976, and his jersey was retired at the University of Kansas in 2003, and his Celtics jersey was retired in 1982 while he was still playing. But in addition, he was a generous man. After basketball, he became a motivational speaker to youth groups at commencements and other civic activities. He's still an active supporter of the Read to Achieve and Stay in School programs in Boston. When you look at his accomplishments and the person he is a testament to the term exceptionalism. The third athlete I'm going to introduce to you is Gale Sayers, an All-American running back who is also known as the Kansas Comet. No other KU football player has had as big of an impact on KU and the NFL as stated in the Gale Sayers article. A Wichita, Kansas native, he attended the University of Kansas for 4 years and was a 2-time All-American football player. During the time, he set an NCAA record with a 99-yard run against Nebraska and a 96-yard kickoff return against Oklahoma. He was drafted by the Chicago Bears, where he played for 7 seasons. During his first full year with the Bears, he scored 22 touchdowns, 14 rushing, 6 receiving, and 2 on returns, and compiled a combined 1,347 rushing and receiving yards. His most memorable game was against the San Francisco 49ers when he tied the NFL record for 6 touchdowns in one single game. During his time in the NFL, he was a Pro Bowl player 5 times, and at the age of 34, he became the youngest player admitted to the Football Hall of Fame. After football, he got a master's degree in athletic administration, but he eventually went into business for himself selling computer supplies. Like so many other Kansas athletes, he gave back to his community. In 2007, he founded the Gale Sayers Foundation, whose focus is to help educate the underprivileged. He was also a strong supporter of the Boys and Girls Club of America and the American Cancer Society. A lesser-known KU athlete is Bob Allison, who attended the University of Kansas for 2 years in 1954 and 1955. Like others, I've presented an achiever. Bob was a Jayhawk baseball player during his 2 years at KU. He was an outfielder for the Washington Senators and the Minnesota Twins from 1958 to 1970 and had a lifetime batting average of .255. One interesting fact is that in 1958 his starting salary was $4,200 per year, and by the end of his career his career earning was $37,000. If Bob played today for that long, he would have earned several $1,000,000. On July 18, 1962, Bob Allison hit a grand slam in the first inning. Later during that same inning, his teammate Harmon Killebrew also hit a grand slam, making them the first teammates to hit a grand slam in the American League in the same inning. 13 years after his retirement, he began to notice problems with his coordination. It took 2 years to diagnose that Allison was suffering from progressive ataxia known as olivopontocerebellar atrophy, OPCA. Bob, in spite of his illness, gave back to his community. In 1990, Allison helped found the Bob Allison Ataxia Research Center at the University of Minnesota, along with his wife Betty, sons Mark, Kirk, and Kyle, and the former Twins teammates Jim Catt and Frank Kulicki. He continued to battle his disease and support his foundation for 8 years, eventually losing ability to walk, talk, write, and feed himself. He eventually passed away at the age of 60. The last athlete I want to introduce to you is Diamond Dixon, a KU track star. She earned a gold medal at the 2012 Olympics as a member of the U.S. women's 4x100 relay. She was the youngest female athlete on the U.S. team, and her life struggles and her positive attitude are a testament to her success. Her mother was 16 when she was born and could not afford to raise her, so she was raised by her Aunt McGrew. She lived in Texas with her aunt and still saw her mother on occasion. Then when she was 4, her mother and younger sister disappeared. Didn't ever reconnect with them until she was in the 8th grade. So it was up to Aunt McGrew to raise Diamond and her own children. McGrew had to work 3 jobs and didn't have time to take Diamond to school. It was up to Diamond to walk 4 miles each way each day. She got her strength by walking to and from school each day. With the Texas heat and humidity, she developed an Olympic training routine when she was very young. With her victory in the Olympics and her persistence, Diamond Dixon is proof that people can rise against hard times and be exceptional. The 5 athletes I've presented to you are just a few exceptional athletes who have attended the University of Kansas. They all exhibited excellence in all aspects of what they do and who they are. They are clear examples of the opportunity to succeed that exists in America, and they are exemplary role models and testaments to exceptionalism.